Taxes.
The governor in Texas?
They need more money.
The governor in Texas.
Government of all taxes.
Oh, taxes. The governor with all the taxes? Oh, the cigarette taxes?
Yes.
Ah, okay. We didn't actually cover that because Terry asked it too. Whoa, what do you do with that?
A couple things. First, you try and look at both sides of the issue and make a determination. Keep in mind that the beneficiaries, those who smoke and buy gasoline on the reservations, get benefits, because they are tax exempt. Mm-hmm. And if a resident of New York buys something in a reservation, it probably should be tax exempt because that's the way the sale is and where this transaction actually took place. But if you look at the other side of the coin, there's a lot of free enterprise businesses just down the street who are paying full value in taxes, who are being beat to death with excise taxes and government and federal and state taxes, who can't be competitive at that point. So what do you do? I mean, we have the same argument about the casino. The hotel across the street from the casino is going out of business because it can't compete with the hotel that's on the casino land, and there are gas stations and smoke shops that are paying taxes who can't compete with the Indian ones. So it's a tough issue. I guess but my question would have been to Elliot Spitzer. He wanted to prosecute the material suppliers, and I guess the question is whether he supplies the Indians or whether that supplier supplies free enterprise. Those sales are tax exempt by him anyway, because the end user is the one that collects and pays the sales tax. So I think that was kind of a weird thing that Spitzer started. But it's a tough question. But I guess my answer would have to be, I personally do not shop on the reservation. I buy my gas at local stations in Wheatfield or in Niagara County, Erie County. I do not buy gasoline there. And I try to support our local, even though I don't like paying the higher cost or the taxes, I just try to support our local business. But at the same time, I don't begrudge anybody from going on the reservation and getting a better price.
Right. However, now that was all gas and cigarettes, and that used to drive the independent retail outlets nuts. And they have a lobby in Albany, small business retail outlets or whatever. Well, now it's becoming men's suits, jewelry, plasma TVs. A huge car dealership can't be far behind. So it's all coming to a head from a different angle. We can ignore cigarettes. And I don't shop there either. You know why I don't shop there is, well, one, I feel like you do as well, but it's like 5 cents cheaper for gas. The taxes are like 78 cents or something. Well, what the hell? If it was 78 cents cheaper, I would be doing it, but it's not.
Well, it probably really is. It's just that right now, I would suggest that the reservations are doing a little gouging of their own.
Yeah. So anyway, it's becoming a bigger problem if they have, and again at the casino, and the one in Buffalo they feared was, hey, we're going to put gas pumps right downtown Buffalo or Cheek to Walk. So anyway, Denny, thanks. I got to go move along, but thank you for that thought. All right, let's go to line 2. Kathy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm better just to hear your voice.
I know you always hear from me. Every once in a while you hear from me.
It's not a lot. You got to call more often. You're not that regular. Well, I don't know if you're regular or not. That's a personal question. What up, man?
Oh, well, I don't know if you know who I am. I'm Kathy from Kelly's Corners in Niagara Falls.
Oh, really?
You remember
Kelly's Corner
me?
was in Wheatfield, wasn't it?
No, it's in the Falls.
In the Falls.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm sorry, Kelly. Go ahead.
I just have a question for Timothy. Wheatfield takes pretty good care of their little area. They help all the little businesses, and they're very focused on making the little community better. I lived in Wheatfield for a long time before moving away and then coming back, and went to school with everybody, Niagara Wheatfield graduates, so I'm very familiar with Wheatfield. Now, my question is, Timothy, what do you suggest to a small business in Niagara Falls who can get no help for survival?
Kathy does, certainly lunch and dinners, but also a little bit of, you can rent the room for catering and that kind of stuff right there in the corner. She's called before with that question. Go ahead.
That's a good question, and there's no real easy answer. I mean, we try, and I'll tell you, we do try to have a business-friendly government in Wheatfield. If for example, Dunkin' Donuts are working with the mall or a big operation like ours, we try to let people know that the process doesn't have to be difficult. I've had a lot of businesses come to Wheatfield that said, we couldn't even get through the first step of the planning board. What's it take? You have to jump through hoops. You have to do this. You have to do that. And what I say is, the more businesses that you bring in, the more business can prosper. And I think that's important. And the same thing is true with our population growth. We're not overwhelmingly growing, but we're growing at a good, solid level that's equal in ratio to the commercial development. So we have a good mix, and we're able to continue cutting taxes. But what I would recommend is, we have a Wheatfield Business Association. I go to every Wheatfield Business Association meeting in the town of Wheatfield. I try to give government input. We try to give answers. We get suggestions from the local business community, and we stay in touch on a monthly basis. Matter of fact, a year ago, the Wheatfield Business Association elected me to their board of directors. I wasn't even running. So now that I have to go to the meeting. But we have a close-knit community. We try to involve the business community. The business community doesn't always agree with everything I do, but one thing is for sure, every single year we cut taxes, and every single year we try to make things a little more effective for the business community as well as the residents by providing better programs and getting people's attention here. And it's worked. I mean, again, I don't have all the answers. I know in your case or in a lot of restaurants and bars cases, we have 2 restaurants in Wheatfield that are hurting because of the smoking ban, for example. And what I've done is I've set up meetings to look at their assessment. Maybe the town can be helpful in working with them based on their occupancy, based on their retail sales and stuff like that. The mall, we worked with their assessment when they were in trouble to try and revive them. So I think the government, case by case in our town, you may not always get the answer you want, but I would say 90% of the time, if a business is in trouble and they need help, specific help, with something from the government, we will try to do whatever we can to improve their condition, to get them through it and to keep those jobs in place.
Kathy, do you feel like anyone's noticed you as a case-by-case or even a person?
They all want to help, but nobody really sticks with it. They talk to you and they say, oh, let me do this, but they're all focused on all their own, what's going on, and nobody really does stick to your interest. I mean, I wish, I'm really beside myself today. I'm a little upset with a lot of things, and it feels like a losing battle. The smoking ban, the most atrocious thing that ever could have happened to this industry. Nobody, I talked to the electric company the other day, and she goes, do you really think the smoking ban hurt you? I says, are you nuts? Mm-hmm. How many of the restaurants and taverns have you lost off of even your electric and gas bills?
Mm-hmm. Right.
How much did you eat because we couldn't pay our electric and gas?
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, and that is a good point, because some of the people I've talked to in Wheatfield, even in addition to the smoking ban, it came at the very same time that the casino came along, and a lot of people are taking their restaurant business, their bar business, to a place where they can smoke, to a place where it's cheaper, they can gamble, they can spend money, they can be part of the action, and it's leaving, even in Wheatfield, as far east as Wheatfield, it's having an impact. It truly is. And I think that was going back again. Everything is in that big circle of discussion we had before, and that is, how do you take care of the existing business and keep them competitive when you have other operations like this going on? And I think this is why the Wizard of Oz, with or without a casino, they're going to come here. And if I could say anything to the local business community, whether it be the hotel on the boulevard, the New Days Inn, or whether it be Kelly's Corner, wherever that restaurant or that hotel or that business is, hold on, because there is an answer coming, and I'm confident, absolutely, positively confident, that the operations and the things that we're going to be announcing in Wheatfield in the next couple of weeks are going to make all the difference. And this, a high tide will float all boats, and I believe this is going to be that high tide.
Kathy, if you heard an announcement soon about the Wizard of Oz, $1 billion theme park being built not far from Kelly's Corners, that's got to feel better.
Well, what do you feel better if you can hang on that long?
Right.
I mean, I know it's tough to hang on.
It is.
I've been hanging on for 4 years. I mean,
right.
this has been the roughest 4 years of my life. You know, and you have people say, well, don't close. You need not to close. I mean, I have to tell you, I got hate mail. Something was published about me, and I literally got someone send me hate mail. And when you're in the restaurant business, you don't, and you don't bother anybody, but the mentality of the people around you don't even understand what you're going through. You know, they can say whatever they want, but until you walk in our shoes, no one should say a thing. No one. You know, it's like, give the small business a break. You know, help us. We should not even have to pay half of what we pay in this area. A depressed little town who's suffering from the casino, the smoking ban, who has all their own natural resources, should not be paying top dollar for everything. Cut us some slack.
Exactly. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Whether it be through assessment opportunities or whether it be through tax relief that's across the board to benefit. I mean, wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to slash property taxes in half? I mean, that may not answer everybody's prayers, but it certainly would help the business community. I know we're running out of time. I'm not trying to take your show away, but real quick, we did
That's the easiest thing for me when you're on.
6 years ago, we did a water refund program. And we had businesses and residents equally get water refunds because we had a lot of surplus in the budget from interest earnings. We gave the money back in checks to all the residents of the town and to the business community. And one of the businesses, who was teetering on the edge at the time, got a $32,000 check back and made their payroll for the month, and it made a difference. But it was a water refund based on the usage. And we do those things. Government should be more responsive. They aren't the end-all. Government's not the end-all, but they can be helpful to save jobs and save the mom-and-pop operations that make this country go.
Kathy, thank you.
Well, tell Timothy to annex LaSalle.
Yeah, can you take it? Okay, thank you, Kathy. Hope you have a better day tomorrow. Hey, we already have to go. You'll come back and give us these updates?
Yes, I will.
And just in case, because we don't ever really talk elective politics, so just in case somebody wants to run for lieutenant governor, like if David Patterson comes through this town, you know, glad to have you on. But other than that, I'd really like to talk about kind of a hometown guy going out there and talking all across the state. In fact, there's got to be some way we can jump on your minivan someday and go with you about what it's like to campaign across the state. We'll try and do that, because that'd be a lot of fun.
We're going to 4 or 5 counties on the 8th, so for
the
breakfast. The 8th of April, we have several weeks of county breakfast, 4 and 5 counties at a time.
Is it Palm Sunday or anything?
No, it's not. We kept it well away from Easter.
All right, thanks, Tim. Appreciate it as always. Thanks. Good luck on the campaign trail for that. Thanks to all the calls. Fantastic calls. Next week, and I said nobody from Erie County is really coming. Barry Weinstein's coming on in the next couple of weeks, so we'll get Barry on. He's a minority leader from the Erie County Legislature. Anyway, thanks for the calls. We'll be back again next week on Legislative Journal. Have a great week.